welcome back. Today we are going to do simple reading practice, but I'm sure you're going to enjoy it because I've again picked up the same book, which is Robin Sharma's Who Will Cry When You Die, and believe me, the little chapters in it are refreshing and they give you a lot of wisdom and insight. In one of my previous videos, the link is attached here, I've told you how you can read effectively. In this video, I also want to add something to it. I want to tell you that you can improve your speaking skills by reading effectively. Today, I'm going to read 4 chapters from this book. 3 of them I've marked with slashes and dashes, meaning where to pause and which are some of the words where you can stress. If you read every single day the way I'm going to read right now in front of you, then I'm sure you're going to improve your English over a period of time. Read aloud, read with pauses, and read with stresses on words that are important in your sentences. There are no rules to where you can pause and which are the words that you should stress on, because a word that would be important in a particular sentence would not be important in the next sentence because you've already introduced that word or introduced that concept in the previous sentence. It very much depends on the interpretation of passages that you read, and hence, the more you read, the better you get at reading as well as at speaking. Without wasting our precious time, we are going to directly dive into 4 of my personal favorite chapters from this book. Now before that, if you're a new visitor to this page, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the small bell icon to get notifications every Friday from me. So let's start reading from the book Who Will Cry When You Die by Robin Sharma. Life Lessons from the Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. The first lesson that I've chosen for all of us is to sleep less. And this is especially true for me. I should definitely be following through all the wisdom that the author has shared in this particular chapter because I love to sleep a lot. So let's get going and let's start reading now. Thomas Edison's life story is one worth reading about. Part visionary, part gambler, and part genius. He was a brilliant inventor who made the best use of his time on the planet. Though he had only 6 months of formal schooling, he had read such classics as The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire by the time he was 8 and invented the phonograph which captured sound on records by the time he was 30. A master of positive thinking, when someone asked him why, during his last years when he was almost totally deaf, he did not invent a hearing aid, he replied, "How much have you heard in the last 24 hours that you couldn't do without?" He then added with a smile, "A man who has to shout can never tell a lie." But what I remember the most about this special man was his rare ability to thrive on only 4 hours of sleep. "Sleep is like a drug," he explained. "Take too much at a time and it makes you dopey. You lose time, vitality, and opportunities. Most of us sleep far more than we need to. We say to ourselves that we must have at least 8 good hours of sleep. At least 8 good hours of time under the covers in order to function at our best. We cannot imagine getting by on less sleep and shudder at the very thought. Yet, as I wrote in an earlier lesson, it is not the quantity of sleep that is more important. What really counts is the quality and richness of your sleep. Just remember those times when everything in your life was working. You were thriving at the office, fulfilled in your relationships, and growing in your inner life. You were overflowing with energy and passionate about every minute of your days. If you're like most people, you will also recall that during these times, you could get by on less sleep. As a matter of fact, there was so much to be excited about that you did not want to waste time by oversleeping. Now reflect on those times of your life when things were not going so well. Your job was exhausting, the people in your life were driving you crazy, and you had no time for yourself. During these times, you probably slept longer than usual. Perhaps you slept until 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday or Sunday. We often use sleep as an escape from reality during difficult times. But how did you feel when you finally woke up? Groggy, uninspired, and tired. So it is not the number of hours of sleep that is key, but rather the amount of renewal your body receives. Strive for less time in bed, but a richer, deeper sleep. Understand that fatigue is often a mental creation that stems from doing things you do not like to do. And remember Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's wise words: "The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward in the night." We are often harsh on ourselves when we make mistakes or when we do not achieve what we desire to achieve. In this life lesson by Robin Sharma, we are going to learn how not to be hard on ourselves. Let's get going. Don't be so hard on yourself. It is easy to spend much of your days beating up on yourself for... Sorry guys, I was just checking if the video is on. Because the last time I read a chapter, I almost finished it and I realized that I hadn't turned on the recording button. So, happens sometimes. Okay. It is easy to spend much of your days beating up on yourself for past mistakes. We analyze that relationship that failed and relentlessly review all the things we did wrong. Or we look at that business decision that cost us so much and dwell on the things we could have done right. Once and for all, stop being so hard on yourself. You are a human being, and human beings have been designed to make mistakes. As long as you don't keep making the same errors and have the good judgment to let your past serve you, you will be on the right track. Accept them and move on. As Mark Twain wrote, we should be careful to get out of an experience only the wisdom that is in it, and stop there, lest we be like the cat that sits down on a hot stove lid. It will never sit down on a hot stove lid again, and that is well, but also it will never sit down on a cold one anymore. Coming to the realization that we all make mistakes and that they are essential to our growth and progress is liberating. We lose the need to be perfect and adopt a saner way of viewing our lives. We can begin to flow through life the way a mountain stream flows through a leafy forest, powerfully yet gracefully. We can finally be at peace with our true nature. An excellent way to rise to a higher level of enlightenment and personal wisdom is to make a list of the 10 biggest mistakes you've made in your life on the left side of a page within your journal. Then, on the right hand side, write down the corresponding lessons you've learned from every mistake and the benefits that actually flowed into your life as a result of those so-called failures. You will soon see that your life would not be as rich and colorful without the mistakes of your past. So be gentler to yourself and see life for what it really is, a path of self-discovery, personal growth, and lifelong learning. If you haven't laughed since morning, then this lesson is for you. This one says, laugh more. Now I haven't marked the slashes where I'm going to take pauses. This is an impromptu reading that I'm going to do for you. So let's begin. Laugh more. According to one study, the average 4-year-old laughs 300 times a day, while the average adult laughs about 15 times a day. With all the obligations, stresses, and activities that fill our days, we've forgotten how to laugh. Daily laughter has been shown to elevate our moods, promote creativity, and give us more energy. Comedian Steve Martin reportedly laughs for 5 minutes in front of the mirror every morning to get his creative juices flowing. and to start his day on a high note. Try it, it works. Laughter therapy has Laughter therapy has even been used to cure illnesses and heal those with serious ailments. As William James, the father of modern psychology, observed, we don't laugh because we are happy. We are happy because we laugh. A friend of mine, always known for his wise ways, made it his New Year's resolution one year to laugh more. Every few weeks, he would go to his local video store and rent a Three Stooges movie or buy a new book of humor, which he would then dip into when he had a few free moments during the course of his day. A positive person already, he began to notice that he felt even happier and started to laugh even more than before he undertook this personal development. A friend of mine, always known for his wise ways, made it his New Year's resolution one year to laugh more. Every few weeks, he would go to his local video store and rent a Three Stooges movie or buy a new book of humor, which he would then dip into when he had a few free moments during the course of his day. A positive person already, he began to notice that he felt even happier and started to laugh even more than before he undertook this personal development initiative. Because of all the humor he surrounded himself with and the new awareness it created in his life, he also began to see the lighter side of things and no longer experienced the level of stress he had felt in his professional pursuits. This simple discipline raised him to a whole new level of living and effectiveness. Why not follow my friend's lead and head down to your local video store to stock up on the latest funny movies? Then pick up a few books, perhaps something from Gary Larson's Far Side series or the much-read Dilbert cartoons to stimulate your laughter habit. Reconnect to your playful side and enjoy the wonders of a deep belly laugh. The fourth and the last life lesson is to live happily and fully. Live fully so you can die happy. Most people don't discover what life is all about until just before they die. While we are young, we spend our days striving and keeping up with social expectations. We're so busy chasing life's big pleasures that we miss out on the little ones, like dancing barefoot in a park on a rainy day with your kids, or planting a rose garden, or watching the sun come up. We live in an age where we have conquered the highest of mountains, but have yet to master ourselves. We have taller buildings but shorter tempers, more possessions but less happiness, fuller minds but emptier lives. Do not wait until you are on your deathbed to realize the meaning of life and the precious role you have to play within it. All too often, people attempt to live their lives backwards. They spend their days striving to get the things that will make them happy, rather than having the wisdom to realize that happiness is not a place you reach, but a state you create. Happiness and a life of deep fulfillment come when you commit yourself from the very core of your soul to spending your highest human talents on a purpose that makes a difference in others' lives. When all the clutter is striped away from your life, its true meaning will become clear. To live for something more than yourself. Stated simply, the purpose of life is a life of purpose. As this is the last of the life lessons, it is my privilege to share with you in this book. I wish you a great life filled with wisdom, happiness, and fulfillment. May your days be spent in work that is engaging, on pursuits that are inspiring, and with people who are loving. I would like to leave you with the following words of George Bernard Shaw, which capture the essence of this final lesson far better than I ever could. This is the true joy in life, being used for a purpose recognized by yourself as a mighty one, being a true force of nature. Instead of a feverish little clod of ailments and grievances, complaining that the world will not devote itself to making you happy. I'm of the opinion that my life belongs to the whole community, and as long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it whatever I can. I want to be thoroughly used up when I die, for the harder I work, the more I live. I rejoice in life for its own sake. Life is no brief candle to me. It's a sort of a splendid torch which I've got to hold up for the moment, and I want to make it burn as brightly as possible before handing it on to future generations. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this reading practice, and do let me know in the comments below which of these four lessons did you like the most. Also, I really want to know from you guys if you want me to make such kind of videos even in the future, because it is helping us in two ways. We are learning something beautiful from these best authors in the world, and at the same time we are listening to somebody speaking in English, like you all are listening to me speaking in English or reading in English, and you all are trying to understand where we can pause in our sentences and where we can stress, which are the words where we can stress on, and which are the little tiny mistakes that I myself make when I'm reading, and then I change the way I'm reading that sentence again. So if you really observe the way I read, I think it would have helped you in some way. Do let me know in the comments below if you want me to make videos like this in the future, and I surely will keep doing this. And if you want me to keep reading with the slashes or without the slashes, like it should be impromptu or it should be with knowing where I'm going to take breaks. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon to get notifications every Friday, and don't forget to share this video with those friends who are trying to learn English, who are trying to read more and more, and who want to speak fluently someday. So until I see you next, bye.